Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video solutions for Zimsec June 2024 Chemistry Paper 1. Are you a student preparing for your upcoming exam in November 2024 and want to get a head start on understanding questions? In this video, I will be walking you through a step-by-step solution for each of the first 10 questions from the recent Chemistry Paper 1. My goal is to help you understand not only the answers, but also the thought process and technique that is required to tackle these questions. By the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of how to approach this type of questions and be more confident in your ability to solve them. Let's get started. Number 1, the diagram shows a part of burette. What reading is shown on the diagram? So the correct answer is going to be A, which is 16.25. I'm going to explain why I've said the answer is 16.25 cubic centimeters. So the volume of burette is read at the lowest point of the meniscus. In this case, the bottom of meniscus is between this 16.2, because here we are having 16, 16.1, 16.2. So the bottom is between 16.2 and 16.3. So the number that is exactly halfway between 16.2 and 16.3 is 16.25. So that is why we are saying the correct answer is A on number 1. Let us now move on to number 2. An ion of element X is represented as follows. We are having this X, which is having this W, Y, and Z. So we are supposed to pick a statement about X which is true. So what we are going to do is, first we are going to label. We are going to start with this Z. This is our element. X is the element, and then Z is known as proton number or atomic number. And then lastly, we're supposed to label W and Y. So this W is known as nucleon number, and then Y is the charge of the element X. So here we are going to label that this Y is the charge of element X. So we want now to pick the statement that is correct. So we are going to analyze each and every statement to see if it is correct or wrong. So A is saying Y is the nucleon number. So it is disqualified because we said W is the nucleon number, not Y. And then Z is atomic number. This one is going to be the correct answer. Z is the proton number or atomic number. And then C is saying W is the proton number. W is nucleon number, and this one is the proton number. And then D is saying W is the charge on the ion. This is the charge Y. So the correct answer on number 2 is going to be B. Number 4 is reading. The diagram shows the atomic structure of a neutral atom of an element Z. So to which group of the periodic table does element Z belong? So here we are having 2 electrons in the first shell, and then in the last shell we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the electronic configuration. So we are supposed to state to which group of periodic table. So element Z belongs to group 5 of the periodic table. We are going to select B as our answer. Let me explain why we have said it is in group 5. So elements in group 5 has 5 valence electrons, which means that the last shell have a total of 5 electrons. Let us now move on to number 5. Number 5, which row correctly describe the states of the substances at room temperature and pressure? We are going to select C as our answer. You should know that naphthalene is solid at room temperature, and then mercury is liquid, whilst carbon dioxide is gas. Let me explain again. Naphthalene is a white crystalline solid at room temperature, and then mercury is liquid, whilst carbon dioxide is gas at room temperature. So I'm realizing now that I've omitted number 3. Let us revise this question that was on number 3. The diagram shows the structure of neutral atom of an element. How many protons does the atom have? So you should understand that the number of protons and the number of electrons are equal in neutral atom. So we are having a total of 6 electrons. We are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it means that we are also having 6 protons, since the number of electrons and number of protons are equal in an element. Let us now move on to number 6, which property shows that calcium is not a transition element. Let us analyze one by one question to see if it is correct or wrong. So it is saying, A is saying its compounds are soluble in water. Of course, calcium compounds are soluble in water, but this cannot be used to distinguish it from transition elements, as some transition metal compound, some they don't dissolve in water, whilst others do. So we can't use this to distinguish calcium from transition elements. So this one is disqualified. And then the next one, it is saying its compounds are colored in solution. You should know that the ones that are going to have compounds that are colored are transition element, not other elements like calcium. So this one is disqualified. And then C, its compounds are white when solid. This one is correct. We are going to take C as our answer. C is correct because metals that are not transition elements usually form white compounds, whilst compounds of transition metals are usually colored. And then D is incorrect, which is saying it has a very high density. D is disqualified as transition elements have high density also. So the correct answer is going to be C on number 6. And then number 7, the diagram shows fractional distillation plant for distilling crude oil. Which fraction has compounds with the highest boiling point range? So we are going to select this one at the bottom, which is bitumen. I'm going to explain this answer. The bottom of the fractionating column is the highest temperature, and top of the column is the lowest temperature. So it implies that this bitumen at the bottom is going to have the highest boiling point range compared with this petroleum gas, which is at the top. It is going to be having the lowest boiling point range. Let us move on to number 8. The diagram shows a simple cell. Which combination of metals would allow electrons to flow in the direction shown? So this was a beautiful question on reactivity series. You should know the reactivity series. so that you know which one is more reactive than the other. So first of all, let us write these elements, writing the one that is least reactive. So the one that is least reactive is copper. Copper is the most least reactive, then followed by lead. Lead is then followed by iron, and then lastly we have zinc. So zinc is the most reactive, and you should know that generally anode is typically the more reactive metal and cathode is typically the less reactive metal. So the electrons, they are supposed to flow from the anode to cathode. So this one is supposed to be our anode because electrons are flowing from this direction going to this cathode. So we need to have the anode that is more reactive than the cathode. So now let us compare one by one. A is saying copper is X, while list Y is lead, which is incorrect. Why? Copper is less reactive than lead, so this one is going to be disqualified. Sorry. And then next combination. In the next combination, we are having iron being our anode, while list zinc being our cathode. This is incorrect because iron is less reactive than zinc. So we are supposed to have the more reactive at this side and less reactive at this side. So B is disqualified. And then on C, we are having lead being our anode, iron being our cathode. This one is wrong again. Why? Because here we are supposed to have the more reactive and here the least reactive. Let us now see the last one, which is D. It is going to be our answer because zinc is more reactive than iron. So the electrons are going to flow from the zinc to the iron. So the correct combination is going to be D on number 8. Number 9, the diagram shows results obtained when aqueous sodium hydroxide was added to solution X and heated. The damp red litmus paper turned blue. The mixture of solution X plus sodium hydroxide, we're supposed to know which ion was present in solution X. So this is a cation test which is done using sodium hydroxide. Ammonium ion reacts with hydroxide ions to produce water and ammonia. So first I'm going to write an equation for reaction of ammonium plus hydroxide. So if we react ammonium plus hydroxide, we are going to have water plus ammonia. So what is going to happen is that this ammonia is going to dissolve in water to form an alkaline solution. If we use a damp red litmus paper, it is going to turn from red to blue, indicating that this ammonium is an alkaline solution. So the correct answer is going to be C on number 9. Let us now move on to the final question in our tutorial today, which is number 10. The equation shows the dissolution of ammonium chloride. We are having ammonium chloride plus aqueous in order to give us ammonium plus chlorine. So the question is then saying which diagram A, B, C, or D shows the energy profile for the dissolution. So what you need to understand is that dissolution of ammonium chloride is used to cool container of water placed in the solution. It is an endothermic process because ammonium chloride absorbs heat from the surrounding. So ammonium chloride has high lattice energy, and this means that energy released by solving process cannot compensate for the energy required to break the bonds between chloride and ammonium, resulting in the process being endothermic. So we need to look for the diagram of endothermic reaction. It is going to be B. Because the endothermic diagram, we are going to have the energy for reactants being more than the energy for the products. So this marks the end of our tutorial today on the first 10 questions of June 2024, Chemistry Paper 1. I didn't manage to finish shooting the whole video because of time. I'm at work and I'm supposed to go home. So we'll revise from number 11 to number 14 in other tutorials to come.